Welcome to Stewart Spotlight Podcast. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Hello and welcome again. Welcome to Stewart Spotlight Podcast. My name is William Stewart Jr. and I am your host this evening. I am so sorry for the delay that we had originally, but we are back on track as we speak. I hope everyone had a wonderful week this week. I hope everyone filed their taxes because Monday was the 15th and your taxes were due or you were to receive a refund. So I'm hoping that you receive a large refund. I had a very interesting week this week. We had my church, St. Paul Missionary Baptist Church, under the leadership of the pastor. We had a very interesting Bible study this week, and Reverend Christopher Taylor, he was the moderator, and Reverend Slaughter was one of the panelists, and Reverend Richardson was one of the panelists, and Evangelist Thomas appeared. She came on, and I seen Reverend Patricia Banks. She was on. I seen several members who was on the Zoom as well, and it turned out really well, and we're looking forward whenever Reverend Chris set up another date to have another Zoom meeting for a Bible study, which comes on every Wednesday at 7 o'clock, I believe. But we have to wait for the Reverend to make the announcement. Just to give you some FYI, Zanika did a monkey study, which it turned out really well. It says, how comfortable did you feel about the commentary that facilitated the meeting? It says very comfortable, 100% says very comfortable. There was another question. It says, overall, do you think the virtual Bible study was beneficial? 100% said it was very good, very beneficial. And the last monkey question was, how often do you think we should have a virtual Bible study? 80% says once a week, and 20% stated bi-weekly. So I guess that's some statistics for Reverend Chris to look over and take that into consideration when we get ready to have the next Bible study. So I'm not going to prolong anymore. Today we have an exciting guest on this podcast this evening, Xavier Weems. Joining us, he's an employed young man, has a career. He loves music, skating, attending church, and most of all, he loves just hanging around his family and his brothers. So let's welcome, without further ado, Xavier to the show. Welcome to the show, Xavier. How are you doing?
I'm fine.
Okay, I'm so glad that you had the opportunity to come on the show to share some things, and I know that you're a career-minded guy who loves to do a lot of different things. I think you really like to play the drums, right?
Yes, sir.
And what other things you like? Because I noticed you like to skate, music. So I know you have some other hobbies that you would like to share with us.
Other hobby, I'm trying to get into carpentry because I like working with my hands.
Mm-hmm.
I just like working, period. Anything to challenge my brain, I'm all up for it.
Oh, okay, great. So, Xavier, we're going to go back a few years. And let's talk about something that happened to you on August the 15th, 2015, a late evening coming home from work. Can you give us a little history on that?
Yeah, I was coming home from work. I had gotten a ride from a cab person from up the street at the bus stop who was happening to be riding by. Got a ride home and then got home, noticed a guy inside my mom's car. And caught his attention. We had some words, just, what are you doing and stuff like that. So my whole intention was maybe to just get in the scuffle with him and just let my mom know somebody was in her car or whatever, going through her car. Mm-hmm. But as we were talking, he was standing behind the door, so I could only see his face or his body from the neck up. So after a while talking, asking questions, arguing a little bit, he pulled out a gun and just started shooting. And come to find out, I was shot twice in the head. I was shot in the arm. It was a through-and-through wound. And I would have been shot in the back, but that bullet was lodged in a tablet that was in my book bag that I carried to work every day.
So you were shot 3 times. So it started off with the heated conversation, back and forth, and then he just pulled out a gun and just started shooting?
Yep.
Wow, okay. And you stated 3 times, 2 in the head and 1 in the arm, and thank God that the backpack with your computer on the back stopped the other bullet.
Yep.
So how much damage did it do to you when you were shot in the head?
I think it damaged my skull. The whole right side of my skull had to be removed. Mm-hmm. And it was gone for a while. Had to have a helmet that was provided by the medical staff to wear every day, just to protect my head. Couldn't take showers because the area was just too sensitive for the hot water. And they didn't want me passing out from the steam and all of that.
So by then, now, I'm not sure that you passed out when you were shot. And mm-hmm. Do you know who found you or who heard? Because you were so close to your house, did your parents come out?
Yeah, I remember. The most I remember is my neighbor coming out, and then I heard her knocking on the door for my mom, and that's it. That's the most I heard.
Okay, now I believe they removed half your skull on your right side.
Yes.
So they had to put some kind of titanium plate, match plate in there. Mm-hmm. And
yes, yes, it's actually it's metal rods, but it's actually some type of I can't remember the name of it. But they stopped using the full metal plate for other reasons. So it's not even plastic. I can't think of the name that the doctor told me. So it's not fully metal.
So was it titanium? Was it titanium?
Metal holding it together.
Was it titanium?
I'm not sure. I'll be thinking while we on here if I can pull the name out.
Okay. Now, do you recall that your parents or your family members stated how long you were in surgery for this?
No. It was well, of course, with everything that was going on, was like a lifetime from what they were saying. Of course, everybody concerned, but I don't know how long I was in surgery.
Okay. Because my understanding that your family were all there praying for you, and with this, you were in a coma when you went into the hospital.
Yeah.
And you was in a coma for a while.
Yes, sir.
Did your family tell you how long you were in the coma for?
No, they did not. I just remember being in and out, seeing them around the bed, maybe trying to talk to them or communicate with them through writing.
Okay, because with the damage done to the skull, you have to do a lot of rehabilitation as far as the writing and walking and things of that nature. Correct?
Yes.
So that's with the rehabilitation.
Yes, that's with the rehabilitation. Yes.
So how long did that take?
It took, I'd say, fully maybe like a couple years.
Okay.
Just back to exactly 100%.
So now with the rehabilitation and the physical therapist, is that two different things?
No, because the physical therapist, they were also working with me. They were also working with me in the hospital.
Okay.
So it was it was really the most intense in the hospital with trying to get my strength back up and making sure everything else is taken care of medical wise.
Yeah, because you had.
But I had a good medical team, and my nurse John Carney, he was a great help in making me do the things that I didn't want to do when I didn't feel like doing it.
So now, how often did you have to go through the physical therapy and rehabilitation? Once a week, twice a week, every day?
It was like every day.
Every day, and this is for an hour?
Every day had to work on getting my strength back up.
Okay.
To get back to get my body strength back up to get back to life.
So when you're talking about rebuilding your strength and getting everything back up, now this physical therapy / rehabilitation, was that every day for the whole day? Was it for a couple of hours a day, or how does that work?
It was for, well, at least in the hospital, it was like an hour on and an hour off every day.
Oh, wow.
And then when you say rehabilitation, most of it was me doing my part.
Mm-hmm.
And wanting to get better and wanting to do better and wanting to move past that situation.
Okay. So now, when I was looking up this titanium mass plate, it stated that it supports the skull and facial bone for the healing purpose. Are you familiar with that? Okay.
Yes.
And so you may have some complications, such as headaches and things of that nature?
Headaches, and that comes from like the headache is come from lack of rest and maybe stress from life and stuff like that. But when they come, I know exactly what it is, and I know exactly what needs to be done.
Okay. What about your vision and hearing? How is that affected anyway?
No, it's not affected. I thought it was affected in going through tests for work, but everything is fine. My vision is fine. Hearing is fine. Everything is great.
Now, I'm gonna go back. Do you think you could have done something different when you walked on this upon this person? Maybe, I don't know. If you look back, do you think you would have did something totally different other than the heated conversation?
No.
So you would have did the same thing.
I wouldn't have done nothing different because it was at the moment. It wasn't even. It wasn't even about the car because, like I said, I was just willing to maybe get in the scuffle with him and send him by this way, and then let my mom know what was going on, and then maybe go through the process with that. But no, I wouldn't have done nothing different because when I need to be, I am confrontational.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So yeah, I wouldn't have done nothing different. Right is right.
Okay.
Right is right. He don't live there. He shouldn't have been there. And yeah, that's it.
Okay. So, but all this 2 years into this rehabilitation and learning to walk again and learning to write and talk, uh, did you have any flashbacks of uh, anything during that period about your life?
Um, in the hospital, I did, and even maybe here and there, I still do, because even like the question you asked, what could have been done differently? I don't know what could have been done differently,
Mm-hmm.
but at the end of the day, God is always right.
All the time. All the time.
So yeah.
All the time. So let's take a little small break right quick, and we'll be back with Xavier. Hold on one moment. And we are back with Xavier, talking about a little incident that happened back in August in 2015. And so, Xavier, tell us more what you are familiar with, because I understand, because there were several family members there to support you, and I believe I've seen a couple of pictures of the pastor came to the hospital to support you as well. So just give us a little history about your things that you went through in the hospital.
Most of it is a blank. I know people were coming to see me, and even after getting out of hospital, it was people coming, I came to see you. Remember when I came to see you? We had a whole conversation. I just can't remember it.
Okay.
It's not being rude. I just don't remember having the conversation. That memory isn't there. Yeah, we probably talked and, hung out for a minute, but sometimes I don't remember. I don't remember all of it. I'll just say that. I don't remember all.
Okay.
Just some.
Now I have a excuse me. I have a picture of this titanium mesh. It's basically it seems to it's like a wire of that nature, just wrapped in that particular spot. So therefore, it can rebuild the part that they took out from your head. That's from what I read. It's the displacement of the new bone growth affecting functionality for the mash. So I guess it helped create. So therefore, if any kind of infection get into it, if there's any kind of infection, would you go back through surgery again? Because,
surgery?
Yes.
Yes, I did have to go through surgery, through an emergency surgery.
Okay.
So I did have to go through an emergency surgery because the scar had gotten infected. Went to a checkup one day, and they was just checking on the scar,
Mm-hmm.
and the way the scalp was forming and how soft and how pussy the scalp was, the surgeon seen that it was infected. So, we got to prep you for surgery, and we need to go and we need to undo everything and then redo it back.
Wow.
So it was a thing of me having surgery like that same day. Like, thinking that I was going in just for a checkup, going home, I ended up staying a couple days in the hospital due to an emergency surgery.
Now, is it true that you will have to have that checked every 8 to 10 years?
I believe so, but I haven't been back to have it checked because it haven't been anything major.
Okay.
But I do still have like all my paperwork and everything with the department where I should go to, and even the doctor who did the surgery. They may not be able to get in contact with the doctor, but I have the department where I should go to and who I should call.
Okay. So now, once you went through all this, you're out the hospital. What's some of the good things that you do now? Because I know you're fully employed, you have a very good job, and so what are you doing now with your life other than working?
Just making every minute count. Because you, some people say you have a new lease on life. Yes, but it's just another chance upon many. So you just got to make every minute count, and make sure, yeah, just make sure everything counts, and make sure I'm satisfied with what I do.
Right. That's understandable. So, is there any plans in the future with your life? You want to continue working, or been on any vacations, or just stay?
Continue working. Continue pouring into myself. Like I say, finding some hobby, and carpentry is one of them. Like I say, anything to keep anything to exercise my brain, work with my hands, have something to do, and continue with music.
Okay, that's good. I have a little small video. I have two videos. It's like a 30-second video, and I just want to play this. This is something that your mom has sent to me, and she wanted everyone to see it. So just take a look at it. Do you recall those?
Yeah.
You do?
Yep.
Oh, okay, great. Well, I have nothing else to say unless you want to give a closing remarks on.
Like I say, my closing remark would be just to sum everything up. Again, God is always right, and yes, it's bad that what I went through, but even though I was going through it, I still had Him every step of the way, because it went through Him, and everything fell the way that God wanted it to fall, exactly where God wanted it to fall. And even before, I remember Chris coming to see me, he popped up on me one day, and even before him talking to me, and he was saying that, you know, I would need to have the tenacity to keep going. That was already done by God. So it was after getting out the hospital, getting back to life, and what I needed to do to keep going and to get back to where I am now. So
that's great.
Yeah, to sum it all up again, even though it may be the worst day of your life or the worst situation you ever been through, you're going to come out of it. And again, God is always right.
Well, I appreciate that very much for making that statement, and it's so true. And I really want to have you back on the show again, because there's so much that we need to cover that we didn't have enough time to cover because due to the technical difficulties, you know, one of those things. And
yes, sir.
But I'm going to leave you with something your mother sent to show you her love from the family and friends. And after this break, we're going to come back and we will talk with you a little bit later, okay?
Okay.
Xavier back. Um, Xavier had a very interesting story, especially when you're getting shot in the head and two bullet holes. I mean, two shots in the head and one in the arm. Thank God that he was able to talk about it and share some of his wisdom about it. Well, it is time for well, we had a trivia question last week. There was many who replied to it, but there was only one correct answer. I couldn't believe this. The question was, what is the largest organ in the human body? The correct answer was the skin. The skin was the correct answer. And we do have a winner, Melvin Clayton from Chicago. We did reach out to Melvin Clayton from Chicago, but he has not returned our email response to let us know what size shirt what size shirt he can wear and where should we send a t-shirt. So we give Mr. Clayton another week before we just move on. But now it is time for a question again this week, where you can win this Stewart Spotlight t-shirt sponsored by William Stewart. I got to get some music behind that because it just seems so dry. I got to get something exciting. So I'm going to work on that. This week question, if you happen to send us an email, if you go to the email, which is listed below, stewartspotlight.com, and go to the trivia section and answer the question with the correct answer, you will win a t-shirt. The question this week is, who was the inventor of the light bulb? Yes, who was the inventor of the light bulb? If you have the correct answer, I will acknowledge you next week for the t-shirt that you may win. Next week, my guest, let me do one thing. Let me do Lee first and go from there. Can't hear you, Lee. Still can't hear you. You have your mute on? I still can't hear you. Is your mute on? What's wrong with you? You was talking earlier. What did you do? You don't know what happened? You were just on. What did you do? Well, I guess we have to get the message next week from you, Lee. We'll talk with you next week, Lee. I guess that concludes our show this week. We have a very special guest that's coming on next week. She's going to talk about relationships. And Miss Janelle, I'm sorry, I'm reading. Somebody just sent me a text saying this. Okay, I should not even be reading text. Anyway, Miss Janelle Watkins will be on next week talking about relationships. So make sure you tune in and support this channel. As I stated before, I didn't get a chance to say this earlier. I need your support by like, subscribe, and share. Make sure you share it to as many people as possible. My goal is to reach 10,000 viewers. 10,000 viewers. So we can continue to share different stories per week. With that being said, I want to thank you for hanging in there with us. even though we had some hiccups, but it comes with the territory. Always remember, it's not about me. It's all about you. Until next week, have a nice weekend, be safe, and good night. Yes, sir.
Can you hear me now?
See, I don't know why he's in the car. What? And I told him, don't be in the car.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, he's sitting in the car.